Now then, people, and welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I think this is the fourth time you will have seen me today. Like Kieran says, Joe, you've done enough today, man. Chill out. But listen, that's what we're here for the breaking news on the Just Joe Football Show, where you can get all your Leeds United related news. And I wanted to react to this because, of course, we have found out this evening that Arsenal have formally submitted their first bid for Raphinha. It's game time. It's showtime. It's going to start moving now. It's going to be fast-paced. We're going to see a lot of movement now over the next 24 to 48 hours, I would imagine, on this Raphinha deal. Because, of course, like with any situation, the first offer that's going to come in is going to be pretty shy, right? It's going to be pretty shy, and Arsenal have made that offer. I will share my screen with you so you can get a view. It's from The Athletic. It's from David Ornstein. It's been confirmed by Phil Hay as well. Here is the article in question, just so you can get a look at that. I'll just stick myself down here. So it says Arsenal submit their offer for Leeds United. That was done literally half an hour ago, I would say half an hour ago. It says Arsenal have sent a formal offer. I don't know if you can see this. Let me see if I can. That's better, isn't it? I'll probably take this off as well. I'm playing around with banners and whatnot for you, so let me take that off there. That's probably a bit better. So it says Arsenal have sent a formal offer to Leeds United for winger Raphinha. The Athletic understands. It is believed Arsenal made contact with their Premier League counterparts on Tuesday and indicated their intention to submit a proposal. So at some point today, they've contacted Leeds United, contacted Victor, contacted Radrizzani and said, listen, we're going to make an offer. And a bid is thought to have followed this evening, but it has fell well below Leeds' valuation and is expected to be rejected out of hand. Arsenal are firm admirers of Raphinha and want to add him to their attacking options. The 25-year-old Brazilian international has long been expected to join Barca, and the Catalan side are known to be his favourite option, although their pursuit is complicated by financial problems. It does say after Barca, Chelsea are said to be Raphinha's preferred destination, and not only would a move there provide Champions League football, but potentially also a better chance of winning major trophies. But we know with the Chelsea situation, they're also chasing Sterling. They have just moved Lukaku on to Inter Milan. Maybe that could throw up an opening. Maybe that could spare up some cash. It says, then come Arsenal. They play Europa League football next season. And Tottenham, who qualified for the Champions League, are considering Raphinha, but he is not their first choice option. So you could argue that maybe Arsenal are Raphinha's third choice behind Barcelona and, of course, Chelsea. We know here, just saying here, that, you know, his stats over the last couple of seasons, etc. We know that he has a current deal that will expire in 2024. But let me know your thoughts, guys, in the comments. What we're saying. I'm quite interested by the news that they have formally submitted their bid. It was only just, let me have a look, when we did the Raphinha video, when we did that, and we all laughed, we all joked, myself included. I remember putting it out over on socials, on Facebook, Twitter, etc., and getting laughed down. Arsenal, why would he make that move, etc.? And I think we were all on that. When was it that video was done? So that was June the 11th. So just 10 days ago. 10 days ago, it was brought out to us as fans and out there in the press, on social media, and then of course onto YouTube by myself and other content creators. And we sort of laughed. Like, I've heard some people say, why would he go work under Arteta? I don't mind Arteta, but I understand why people would say that in the same breath. You know, why would he go to a team that, you know, he's not in Champions League, he's a Champions League player. Arsenal are still in transition. They've had 2 seasons. Where's he got them? 8th, 5th, you know? So, but for me, I think Arsenal is an exciting prospect because it is a team on the up. Like, it's mad to say that about Arsenal, but I do like the squad they are building. If you bring in Tielemans, if you bring in Jesus, if you bring in Raphinha, they've just brought in Vieira, they really are building something at Arsenal. So maybe that's why that might look like an attractive prospect to Raphinha. But I mean, I guess you could argue, well, there's not just because they've submitted a bid doesn't mean that Raphinha wants to go there. But surely they would have had communication with Deco, like, or are clubs in the business of just submitting formal bids without no due diligence, no conversations with the players, no chance of ever getting it over the line? I don't think so. You know, we heard in January when West Ham and other clubs, Villa perhaps, were looking at Calvin, and West Ham were going to bid 50 for Raphinha and 50 for Calvin. You know, there was no formal bids made. It was all talk. It was all guff. Now the ball's rolling because there has been a formal bid made for Raphinha this evening. We're not privy to what that is. Fabrizio Romano is saying, look, Barcelona have agreed personal terms with Raphinha, but no agreement on fee with Leeds. And to be honest, I don't think they're going to get anywhere close to it. For me now, personally, I think Barca could be out of the running because the Premier League clubs have made bids, and therefore they're the ones with the money. They're the ones that will meet Leeds' valuation. And the fact that Raphinha and Deco have probably had conversations with Arsenal somewhere along the line, otherwise what's the point in making a bid, shows that he's open to a move elsewhere if Barcelona don't meet Leeds United's valuation, which for me, they ain't got the cash. They're not going to be able to do it, which I'm surprised by, because I believed, and it's always been my rhetoric, by hook or by crook, he'll be a Barcelona player. But the fact now Arsenal are putting up the cash, you know, it looks like they're the front runners at this moment in time. Both Chelsea and Tottenham have been in contact, but no bid made. Now we might see bids. Leeds United wants 65 to 75 million. I spoke to earlier after Simon Jordan and TalkSport saying, you know, whatever this bid is that's coming, Leeds United need to be saying, nah. You know, for me, I put it out on Twitter, they need to be paying them Pepe prices. You know, they paid 72 million, I think it was, for Pepe. Jadon Sancho went for like 76. It's about that mark, you know, it's about that mark. Phil here has come out and said Leeds are already in the process of turning down Arsenal's offer. It will not be accepted, and it is well below the price the club value Raphinha at. It'd be interesting to know what that price was, what that valuation was, how much they have put in. But as I say, it's been flatly refused, and so it should. Like the first bid, whatever bid it is, should always be rejected, right? That's negotiation 101. Whatever that bid is. Whenever I'm on holiday and I'm buying like daft little trinkets from people in Benidorm or whatever, best believe I'm not paying first price. I want to try bring it down. Do you know what I mean? And it's the same in any sort of negotiation process, isn't it? When you're looking to buy something, you know. So whatever bids come in, Leeds United have rejected it, which is good, right? That's the main thing that we have said. Nah, we're not about that. It has been rejected. It'd be interesting to see, like, I know, like where Arsenal seem fitting in. You know, they have Saka. There's a lot of talk of Saka going to City, not this season, but over the next 12 months, contractual issues, etc. Maybe that's something that might happen, and maybe that's why they're looking ahead. But I see Arsenal going forth, like getting better. I know some disagree, and a lot of Arsenal fans don't back the manager, but I see them getting better. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, as well, they hold a few aces in the pack. Gabriel, the centre-back, used to play with him at youth level. You know, he plays at international duty with Jesus, who will be an Arsenal player, with Gabriel Martinelli, etc., etc., etc. Let's have a look at some of your comments. I will get to them all. We have had a super chat in as well from Holy Ghost. He says, peace to the gods and earths. Happy Leeds holding out for the right valuation for our stars, Joe. Keep doing you 120%, brother. Thank you very much, Holy Ghost. It's been, I've been working today. I've done 4 videos, man. It is what it is. We move, right? We move, don't we? That's what I love. This is my passion. So, of course, I want to do it. What was the bid? We're not privy to that information, you see, Robbie. We don't know. But, you know, Phil here is saying it is well below the expected valuation. I've seen someone comment on YouTube short that I did, like 40 odd million. I don't know where that's come from. I don't know if that's guesswork. I'm not seeing anything at this moment in time to say what that offer is. As I say, I keep refreshing Twitter because we will hear it. It's probably more than likely in the morning now, where we'll start to hear bits. I understand Arsenal fans will be excited the fact that they have submitted the bid because he's a top player. Like, I was speaking on an Arsenal channel the other day, and they said Raphinha is arguably the best prospect outside of the top six, really, especially in his position. Outside of the top six, there isn't much. So he's the man that's gettable and available as well. I'm not saying he's the best right winger in the league, not by any chance, but any stretch of the imagination. But he's attainable for top six sides because of which club he's at, and that pains me to say it, but he's at Leeds United, and these clubs are much higher up the table than us and can offer him European football, etc., etc. So you can understand reasons as to why he's going there. But Arsenal fans will be over the moon with this. The fact that they've submitted the bid means they really are interested. You know what I mean? And it's not just paper talk. Nick says, evening, good, get the right amount and what he is worth, and let's get quality signings in, please. Or that is the key thing as well, Nick, is making sure that the money that we bring in from Raphinha is spent correctly. You know what I mean? That's what we need to ensure, that whatever bid comes in, it's used correctly. We're seeing, Leeds United are looking at midfield replacements. Maybe they were expecting Calvin to move on first of all, but best believe now, for me now, what we're going to see is a lot of movement over the next 24 to 48 hours. Because if Arsenal make that bid, let's say they have a bid accepted and an amount that's achievable and attainable for a Chelsea, for a Tottenham, who are also interested. Barcelona, I think they're out of the running now. They know they can't compete with the Premier League big boys, I'm just having a look here. There's some more coming in here from Gianluigi Longari, transfer specialist for Sport Italia. He is saying, also Tottenham want the Leeds United winger and ready to submit an offer that is 50 million plus 10 million with add-ons, I believe. Okay, so Arsenal just submitted a fresh bid. Barcelona always his first choice, but no agreement with Leeds United. Raphinha hasn't decided yet. So maybe Tottenham are also in that race or are ready. This is what the point I was just about to make. So if Arsenal make that bid, let's say they get a bid accepted. We've seen it with Luis Diaz, right? Tottenham had a bid accepted for Luis Diaz. Yeah. He was going to Spurs. He was going to White Hart Lane. Liverpool see that bid, see that it's achievable. I think it was like 30 odd million, and said, do you know what? We can get him, and he's going to choose us over Spurs. This is what you'll find, because ultimately, because Arsenal are in the Europa League, there are a lot more attractive prospects out there for him. So Arsenal submitting the bid has basically set these wheels in motion. Yeah, it's setting the ball rolling. Now, let's say, for example, that bid is 60 million. If Tottenham can see that as doable or increase on that, they will do that. They will do that. So Gianluigi Longari, who has a hell of a lot of followers on social media, I know that doesn't mean for 1 second that he is the oracle by any stretch of the imagination. I don't know enough about him, but he has been retweeted by reputable sources. He is saying also Tottenham want him and are ready to submit an offer of 50 million plus 10 million with add-ons. So that's close to the 60 million that's been bandied about that Leeds United fans would probably accept, 60 to 70 million. I think the fact that Arsenal have now bid, right, and we know that other clubs are interested in him, we're going to see a flurry now of bids. We're going to see a flurry of action. Just seen 11 Football have retweeted Fabrizio Romano's tweet as well, which is mad because 11's Radrazani's Radrazani's company, isn't it? Maybe reading between the lines there. Jake Brayshaw says he wants UEFA Champions League football. They play Europa League. Makes no sense. Makes no sense for us. Makes no sense, you would think, to Raphinha. But ultimately, we have to take our opinion out of the situation. I've started to already do that and come to terms with that fact. Like when I seen that Arsenal link 10 days ago, I laughed. Raphinha's better than that, etc., etc. I've come to terms with the fact that he is moving on. I love him. I rate him. He's the best player since forever. He's going to bring us our highest transfer fee since Rio Ferdinand. He is the ace. He is the jewel in the crown, the ace in the pack. But I have come to terms with the fact that he will be moving on. So now it's for me, I don't care where he goes, if he's playing, whatever football, as long as we get the money that's right for him. As long as we get the money that's right for him. And I think where my head was at, Jake, is that I was worried that it was Barcelona and done. I believed that. I've said that. And whenever I've spoke about the Raphinha situation, I have said that. That has been my narrative, my rhetoric. But the worrying situation is with that is if there's only one club at the table, then Raphinha can say, Leeds United then have to sort of come to terms with what Barcelona are offering and meet them in the middle. Whereas if now he's open to offers elsewhere, then that means Leeds United have a bigger ball in their court than what they had previously, So I don't care where he plays. He can go play Europa League, maybe play for Arsenal and not get. For me, it's all about now Leeds United getting the highest return they can possible. That's what it's about for me, and then we need to then improve, the rest of the squad. And I've been really happy with the window for Leeds United. I'm happy with the players we've been linked with. Mo Kamara, Tyler Adams. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I'd love Cali Mwendo. Cali as a striker. Noah Lang's been linked again. I'm not too sure just because of his attitude, but this means there's more possibilities for Leeds United when you have more money in. We have to accept where we are as a club. And, ultimately, I know we'd all prefer to keep our players, but in order for us to progress, we can't, which I know is a bit of a paradox. But you can't. We need to sell players on until we get to a point where we can say, nah, you're staying now. Leeds United to make quick Raphinha decision as Arsenal submit official bid for the Brazilian. And that quick decision is a no. You are not going to get him for this price. Just seeing if Phil's tweeted anything else since. It is just Leeds are already in the process of turning Arsenal's offer down. As you can imagine, the comments are lit on that one. Cock-off Joel G. I don't know how to say that. Says 100 million or he stays. I mean, come on now, that's not happening, is it? 100 million. Working hard, Joe, thanks, yes. Our kid says, I just can't see him going to Arsenal. I hear it. There is plenty of other options out there for him, 100%. But do you not think at this case, I'm just like, just give us the money. Do you know what I mean? Wayne Kerr says your Kamara video was really good, Joe. Well done. Thank you very much. If you haven't had a chance to see it, it might get lost in the thing. I've done 3 videos today. The Tyler Adams stuff, the TalkSport stuff, the Mo Kamara stuff, and now this. But like I say, it's just content, and it's the perfect season for it. You know what I mean? Perfect scene. Liam was just saying if the paywall. American in Leeds says, I still think this is fake news. Trust me and believe, American in Leeds. It's not. This is what I mean. There's a little part of me, like, sometimes when I put it out there and people dig you out, like, personally, as though, like, you're like, oh, you think you're this, you think you're that, oh, it's worse than this, it's worse than that. But whenever I do a video, I don't make this stuff up. Like, it comes from sources. Otherwise, what am I going to talk about? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying, sometimes I hear information. I do, and I've shared that with you in a couple of videos. Other times it comes from, well, a lot of the time it comes from reputable journalists. I would only do it. So believe me when I say American in Leeds, the bid's gone in. The bid's gone in. This isn't fake news. Someone said that to me on Facebook the other day about the fake. This guy's full of fake news, and it's like it's not, because I said Christensen was done. I said Mark Rocker was done. They're both now Leeds United players. Do you know what I mean? We discussed this Arsenal, situation 11 days ago. I left it off and said they've got no chance, but I knew the interest was real, and now the bid's gone in this evening. For me, it's like I keep coming back to it. I'm happy that Premier League clubs have got involved, and it's not just Barcelona and done. Even though that might still be where he would prefer to go, and I understand that. Ronaldinho, Deco, we've spoke about it many a times. I'm just looking at Nicky's comments here. You talking softly to not wake the kids up. Yes, man, they're in other rooms, man. You're right. I know normally I'm like, now then people. I was like, I'm going to have to do it really quiet. People are asleep. I hope you can hear me. I can turn my mic up. Is it still? Yeah, you can still hear me. Igal, whose channel I was on the other day, Arsenal fan, please check him out. He says yes. Well, they're over the moon. I work with an Arsenal fan as well, and he's been digging me out. Oh, Raphinha's going to be Raphinha. At this point, right, I don't care. I've come to terms with it, So if he goes, just make sure it's for the right price. And I keep saying it, and I do repeat myself from time to time, that, as long as there's more clubs at the table, and as long as Raphinha's open to move to more clubs, then it's good. American in Leeds says, just in Leeds submit bid on Rodrigo de Paul. Bro, if you don't, please someone talk to American in Leeds and make him understand that this bid is real. We're not sat here making this shit up. Do you know what I mean? Deco was pictured with Eto'o. Raf is going to Barcelona. Well, I spoke to you on this morning's video, the Tyler Adams video, and we had it on very good information that Deco was in North London yesterday. And then the bid's gone in 2-2, unless, like you say, it was in Barcelona. Matthew says, Barcelona are declining power in football. They have some promising youth talent, but a mountain of debt. They're on their way down in the world. Well, they did just sell quite a large chunk of their merchandising arm and of their TV rights. Yeah, they've sold a lot of that. I mean, Barcelona have fallen. Let's not get it twisted. There was once upon a time they were sponsored like charities and that, and them days have gone for Barca. Yeah, they are done in that respect. But they are looking. I mean, look, they're still trying to sign Lewandowski. They're still bringing players in, right? I believe they're making changes to the stadium as well, which is a madness considering their financial situation. But Barcelona. I've said Barcelona out of the race, but I've spoken many times, and I believe by hook or by crook, they'll make sure he's their player. But when Premier League clubs are coming in with bids, they're going to struggle. Do you know what I mean? They are going to struggle. We shall see. Sporting Central said on YouTube channel, the 65 to 75 million is in euros. What does that equate to? Let's have a look. 75 million. I've done this load. Look, it comes up straight away. 64 million. I think that's acceptable. I'd be willing to accept anywhere between 60 to 70. But the great point on this is like the video that I did earlier and what Simon Jordan says. If Arsenal opened up with a bid of 50, you want 70. If they offer 70, you want 80. Leeds United, whatever bids come in, and I believe it will be small. I reckon it could be 40 odd. What do we think? Let me know in the comments what you think this opening bid is. I hope it's not insulting to the point where Leeds just go get away. Because I don't want to say I want him to be sold, but you want to get money in now, right? You just want to get the money in, right? Charles says, got to think and sell like a business. He said he doesn't want to be with us. He doesn't want to be, he wants to progress, doesn't he? I don't think it'll ever get to a point with, say, Raphinha or Calvin where they're kicking and screaming and throwing their toys out of the pram, but it's clear Raphinha wants to move on to bigger and better things, and that's acceptable. And I guess, you're right in saying we need to get as much as we can for him and screw his feelings in a sense. Yeah, and that's why I'm glad, Charles, that Premier League clubs have made bids, because that shows to me there has been a softening from Deco and from Raphinha on him willing to move elsewhere other than Barca. Because otherwise, what's the point in making the bids? Because this is what I'm saying. People believe these things don't go on, but they do. There is many, many due diligence goes down. Let's not forget Leeds United were in contact with Robin Koch for over a year. Do you know what I mean? Noah Lang has come out and done an interview in the Belgian press to say that Leeds United had been over to see him and tried to convince him to sign for Leeds last season. These things go in before any bids are submitted. Deco's apparently been in North London. Next day, a bid comes in. Now, that's knowing that Raphinha is sort of says, yeah, I'll consider Arsenal. Man, I said, yeah, but I'm willing to consider their proposal. But if other clubs come in, I will favour them. Do you know what I mean? And maybe that's why Arsenal are shooting their load quick, because they want to try and get it done. But I think all this does as well, as was reported by, what was his name again? Let's have a look. It was Gianluigi Longari, apparently Tottenham one. So what all this does is pique other clubs' interest as well. Keep coming back to that Luis Diaz situation. Was on for Tottenham, a bid comes in from Liverpool, he moves there. You know what I mean? I agree with this 100%. Blame Lewis as long as we don't spend the money on Traore. I'm just hoping that there is just paper talk, you know. This as well was breaking as well. Minamino is going to Monaco. Yeah, that I think a deal's been struck. I think it was about 13 million, wasn't it? Something like that. I seen 13 to maybe 15 million, I think, Minamino. I don't know if Leeds were ever really in the hunt. We'll have to wait and see. Alison and Matty Adams, she says smash the like. Yeah, if you haven't already, please do smash a like on the video. It would be great if you could do that for me. Just having a look at the current vid. We've got 80 likes. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP, please. That'd be great. Are we going in for Dest? The rumours seem to have gone cold. No, we won't be going in for Sergio. Sergi Dest, isn't it? Sergi. No, we won't, mate. Nah. Alex says, stop chatting. He's got 2 years left. We should dig our heels in. For what purpose, Alex? For what purpose? Explain to me. What do you mean by that in terms of getting a bigger fee? Or just not letting him move for a fee at all and making him stay? Now, you could argue that would still work out for Leeds United, because what I mean by that is, okay, we paid 70 million for a Brazilian international that we've had 4 brilliant years out of. He basically kept us in the Premier League last season. But you dig your heels in, you get a further year down the line, then what, Alex? I don't understand that logic. I understand, like, again, football is about opinions. Explain to me, Alex, what you mean when you say stop chatting. He's got to. There is a time when players reach a point where they say, I'm not going to sign a new deal with you. So Leeds United need to consider that and say, right, where is the opportune time for us to get the most money for this player? It is now. So you dig your heels in, you let him go for nothing. You could still argue it's great business, the fact that we paid 17 million for him, 100%. Or you wait another year and he goes for less. So for me, this is if you're going to sell, this is the time. It's the same with Calvin. People might not want to have them difficult conversations, but it is. You don't want to be Man United, who paid 90 million, who had a player, yeah, sold it, lost him for free, bought him back for 90 million, and then lost him again for free. Basically loaned him from Juventus for 90 million for a couple of, for 10 years or whatever it was. We're not in that silly business, you know what I mean? And we as a club don't have the facilities, we ain't got the facilities for that big man, you know? So we have to accept where we are and understand that there is a time where you need to move them on. I'd love to know your response to that, Alex. Let me know, please. There we go. Matthew said, personally, I think the smart move would be to keep Raphinha until past the World Cup and cash in. Yeah, there is that. I do agree with that, and I know there's a lot of Leeds United fans that would be on that as well. Dan Savage, good man, says Raphinha is a proven Premiership player who and a Brazilian international with his peak form to come. 70 million minimum. I agree. Let's do that. Anywhere between 60 to 70, I think. And if we're following the other teams' models, if they don't pay, it stays. End of. There you go. Let's have a look at. Here we go. Inti Nan, I love that name, says, I'm an Arsenal fan. What are we expecting with Raphinha? I don't know. No, he improves Arsenal no end. I think if you just look at what the potential front three could be, it could be Saka, Jesus, and Raphinha, behind that party, Tielemans. I think it's a great addition, and makes the squad better, overall. And he's got great numbers, and he would improve any side for me personally. He improves any side. Johnny says, whoever stays or goes, this is invaluable experience for the board dealing with the big wigs of the Prem. Yeah, we need to ensure that they do it correctly, right? We need to do that. Chad Robinson says to Arsenal, it is happening. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. I agree with this. Indian Joe says, we hold all the cards. We must stand firm. Yes, Herbie says, dedication to the videos, respect to my Leeds brother. Thank you, brother. This is the thing in it. Let's get a bit more highest price, move on. Exactly. And that's what we have to do. But I agree with this as well. Good. Yeah, of course, good. I hope that, I'm not saying, right, get him out the door, because I am good, because he was class, and is class, and will go on to do things in the game. That's why Matt Davis. Matt Davis have made me laugh with that comment, bro. You see, you've made me lost my train of thought there. Matt says, shooting your load quick, I'm on the wrong channel. Yeah. Joe after dark. More money after the World Cup, more money, Alex's response to that. That is, fair enough. Raphinha is better playing than Grealish, so 100 plus million. Yeah, there's a lot of factors into that, though. What you've got to remember is there was a release clause on Jack Grealish for 100 million. They'd been savvy in signing him in a new deal and getting that release clause. The plan was for Leeds United to sign Raphinha on a new deal and probably add in a release clause. But that deal never materialised because Raphinha don't want to sign a new deal. It was the same with Calvin. That deal never materialised. Maybe the club were looking at it and saying this could be the time to move these lads on and make the squad bigger and more Premier League worthy and ready. Sean Healy's with the super chat says, keep Raf till after the World Cup and sell KP. I don't think KP is as hard to replace. And I understand that. And there's a lot of people who have said that as well. And I understand it, in terms of what Raphinha gives us in terms of goal output, etc. I mean, he scored 17 Premier League goals in 65 top flight appearances. He's had 2 great seasons at Leeds United. And it is hard to replace that. And, you could argue it is easier to find a replacement for Calvin 100%. You've got Tyler Adams, who's available, Leeds are linked to, and now linked to Mo Kamara as well. Them two could do a job in replace of Calvin and wouldn't cost, 50 million. They're going to be, 20 to 30 million. Either of them two, whoever we choose to opt for, or if there's someone else out there, maybe Romeo Lavia on loan as well. So I do agree with you, Sean. In order to replace Raphinha, you have to pay decent money. It was really by damn sheer good luck, really, that we acquired a player of Raphinha's quality for 17 million. This is what we need to remember as well when we're throwing shade at the board and at Victor Orta. We paid 17 million for this guy. He was annoyed himself that Ren let him go for 17 million. That's why I think he'll have got frustrated as well with Barcelona, because they're not willing to meet the valuation. They're not willing to pay him what he's worth, what he believes he's worth. In terms of a transfer fee, you say they're not going to, and we know him, man. It shows. He's got aggression. I'm not saying I don't know him personally, but what I'm saying is he channels that aggression to top performance on the pitch. He knows his worth. He's not like a timid type character, you know what I mean? I can imagine him saying, look, are these taking the piss in effect? Why are they not paying for me? Do they not believe I'm worth it? Do they not understand my value? Well, there's other clubs, and that's why maybe that softening approach has come. And it's all guessing, but, maybe that softening approach has come. And obviously, as I've said before, due diligence happens. They wouldn't have made this bid whilst if there was no chance of Raphinha ever coming to Arsenal. Of course, he'll have preferred options. And if they bid, then he may choose them. But the great thing is, we know we're going to have to sell him. We don't have to sell him, but we know he's going to be sold. He wants to lose. So it's a good thing for me And for Leeds United, the fact that Arsenal have made that move and a bid has come in, because others will come, others will follow suit. You know what I mean? So it's just a case of watching this space now and seeing what comes in. Let's have a look. Keep your comments coming in. Yeah, I've seen this, Brian. I think Tottenham put a 50 million bid plus 10 million in add-ons. I've seen that. I think it's more of a case of they're readying. They're getting ready to submit this offer. I don't know if that's like confirmed as a bid. I assume my good friend Matt Hayes will have tweeted about that if that is the case. Let's have a look and see what's going on, because I know he's been active a lot. Let's have a look. He's actually quote tweeted Phil here and said, "Dead club pretending they're serious by making a bid, get turned down after like 23 minutes." Let's have a look. Let's have a look here. What's being said? Opening bids always get rejected. It's just testing waters. We're going to offer 50 million, apparently, says someone in response to Matt. That's what's been reported. 50 million plus 10 million with add-ons ready in their bid. But this is what the Arsenal bid's done, right? So if Chelsea are serious and Chelsea are wanting to bid, I mean, let me just caveat this. I do not want him to go to Chelsea. We don't want that. The article's saying they're one of the preferred options. He can't go to Chelsea because then we can't enjoy Raphinha, because he plays for one of our rivals who we have a lot of disdain for. And you know that Leeds fans will give him stick for going to Chelsea, and therefore he will hammer us, and therefore he will celebrate, and we'll be fuming, and then Raphinha will be a player that we just dislike, right? Because that's how football works. I don't want that to happen. So let me just say, I do not. It's whoever submits the biggest bid in it, but just hope and pray it's not Chelsea. Hope and pray it's not Chelsea. Don't mind Arsenal, don't mind Spurs. Go there, go to Barca. Barca ain't going to put up the cash, are they? They ain't got it in them. This is what I'm saying. Arsenal have submitted the bid. It's going to be rejected, right? But then more will come. Test the waters. Tottenham might find out what Arsenal have submitted. Of course they will. They'll have people close to everyone's club to be saying, "What's that bid?" You know, Leeds United could even try a bit of kidology and come back and say, you know, "Oh, well, they submitted 60 and we rejected it. Right, we're going to give you 70. Do you know what I mean? There you go. Bang on the money. Robert said it's a bit like a house auction. It's hard to get a bidding war with only one buyer. But the worry wasn't it, Robert, that only one buyer was going to be Barcelona, because Raphinha said, "I only want to go to Barcelona and that's it." Then we're stuck. Then we have to meet Barcelona's demands. Meet them halfway agreement. Accept gash players with add-ons, etc. But now the Premier League clubs have got involved. It's serious. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of chat in there. Louis Barrett, left back. Mate, as it stands, 100% confirmed right now, Leeds United are not in for a left back and do not want a left back. I think it's mad. I think you think it's mad. I think the majority of us think it's mad. There's some out there. I spoke the other day, I did a video and said that you can get Tagliafico for as little as 4 million euros by all accounts. Get him. You can get Charlie Taylor for about 10 to 15, probably get him. But Leeds United, for whatever reason, see Firpo, see Strauch, see Kjelda, maybe even Jack Harrison at left wing back as perfect options. You know, Matt Gunner says, "I'm absolutely buzzing to be an Arsenal fan right now." I can imagine, mate, because you are having a very, very good window. And if Raphinha comes in, which again we will have to wait and see, then it just gets even better. You could be having Gabriel Jesus, Tielemans, etc., etc. And the one thing I didn't do tonight was that, which is gutting. So there you go. Please do subscribe to the channel as well if you are new here. It'd be great if you could do that for me. We recently surpassed 12k subscribers. I want to get to 20k before the end of the year anyway. So if you are new here, please do subscribe to the channel. Jake Brayshaw says, "Tottenham guarantees UEFA Champions League, but no trophies." Yes. Gavin James says, "Joe, what about selling him to Chelsea for 50 million and then getting Brozier. I believe Brozier's on his way to West Ham, bro. I think Brozier could be on his way to West Ham. So we'll have to watch this space on that one. But I don't see that happening. I think Leeds United could be in for Callum Mwendo. Let's hope that is the case. Let's hope that is the case, because Callum Mwendo looks a decent player. Let's have a look. Jamie says, Joe, if we lose Raphinha and Phillips, then we need Kamara and Adams, a striker, and another attacker. That's another 4 deals, perhaps a left back too. It's too much to do in prep for next season. I seen as well, Jamie, you responded on a comment to one of the other videos. I do read the comments. I think it was, you think if Raphinha or Thingy goes, we go down. I don't see that being the case, mate. I think we'll be comfortable mid-table this season. I'm happy with that. Of course, they need to be replaced, but I think overall the squad is getting to more Premier League worthy. Of course, if you lose Calvin, yeah, which I think we will, it's looking to me like we're going to bring in Tyler Adams and Romeo Lavia. I think they're the 2 picks, right? I know Mo Kamara's come out. Mo Kamara is liking videos. He's, his agent, but we've had this before. We had it with Rodrigo de Paul. We had it with Mateus Cunha. These footballers are probably sat at home with their mates on holiday or whatever, just going, I'm just going to respond to a few of these. It could be genuine, but we've seen before that when it happened before, Cunha and RDP, neither came to Leeds United. Both went to Atletico Madrid. Both of their agents said we were interested. They responded to direct messages, DMs, liked tweets, etc. Neither came, So again, and I say this, I only really speak when we've got some tangible evidence. I hadn't done a video on Mo Kamara up until this point because there wasn't any tangible evidence. There's been a lot of people speaking about him, saying he's the perfect option, etc., but no sort of tangible news. Yeah. Then when he speaks, that's worthy of a video, isn't it? Because the player's saying he wants to come. But again, it could just be kidology, So for me, I think Tyler Adams. Look, the guy that tweeted out from the German Sky Sports or whatever it was last night, it was sort of, for me, confirmed when Phil Hay dropped the retweet on it. When that tweet went out yesterday about Tyler Adams, that's why I think he's the number 1 pick at this moment in time, because it was Florian Plettenberg said that. Leeds are considering the situation of Tyler Adams. Leipzig want to sell him. It gets dropped to retweet by Phil Hay. I know these people are always bang on the nose, but the fact that he's dropped that retweet is giving it the seal of approval. You know what I mean? Yes, this is a thing. So, yeah, I think it's Tyler Adams. I think it's maybe Romeo Lavia on loan. As for the attacker, as for the replacement for Raphinha, no clue. There's a lot of talk of Platter, etc., but I don't know. Andrew Saxton says, wait for the news to come from the club. Then what's the point in anything, Andrew? Do you know what I mean, though? I understand that, like when, it's unconfirmed, but what are the club going to say? Oh, yeah, Arsenal did, and then we declined it. Like, this is what this forum is for. That's what social media is for. So we as fans can speak about it. Do you know what I mean? To give our opinion on it. And that's all this is, just opinions, yeah, and we're all entitled to them. Why the obsession with Charlie Taylor? As for that, mate, he's a left back that's available, that's very good, and he's Premier League ready, and he's doable and cheap. I think Nick Pope, like if we look at Nick Pope, right, and I know, look, Nick Pope was never coming to Leeds. I know a lot of people would have liked him to, but he wouldn't suit our style of play because he's crap with his feet and he isn't going to be a number 2. But I believe they moved for Nick Pope's cheap as chips, 8 to 10 million for Nick Pope, an England international. A top goalkeeper that weren't. If he weren't in that Burnley side, they would have been relegated ages ago. And he's going for between 8 and 10 million. So the obsession with Charlie Taylor is, if Nick Pope's going for 8 and 10 million, then best believe Charlie Taylor would be. That's the obsession with him. It's also an obsession with the fact that we need another left back. And there is a lot out there that are doable. Tom White says, let him go and we rebuild. We will unearth another gem in the next couple of years, and the same thing will happen. Reality of being a club outside the top six. It's true, Tom. You just have to get to a point where you don't have to move them on. You know what I mean? Like a Leicester. You know, Leicester, now, and they still continue to do it. They just do it at a higher price. They brought in Fofana, for example, at centre-back at 30 million. When that guy goes, and already Real Madrid and that are looking at him as an option in the future, he'll go for 50, 60, 70, 80. They're still, even though they're buying players at a bigger premium, they're still being able to move them on. You know? You have to bridge that gap. Once you bridge that gap, you can then be steadfast. Look at West Ham. Look what West Ham have done. You know, with Declan Rice, they get European football. You become a little bit more stronger. You're able to, you know, come to that negotiating table and say no. But where currently Leeds United are, we can't do that. We were nearly relegated last season. You know, so it's acceptance from us to understand where we are. Let's have a look. How good is all this transfer talk? It's better than the season itself. Not for everyone. Some hate it, but yeah. People saying Taylor is a great shout, and it is a great shout. You know, I think Connor speaks about it a lot. I think he knows Charlie. You know, remember that Gary Monk, who we all hate, was in charge when Charlie did what he did. So, you know, and I believe he didn't want to play because he didn't want to get injured over a prospective move, etc., etc. And I get all that, and he came through the USAP. I understand all that, but football is fickle. You pay, look, Nick Pope's just gone for between 8 and 10. You could argue Charlie might even be less. Best believe that in 5 performances, and they'd be top performances by Charlie, all would be forgiven. As a Leeds United fan, you know, etc. It'd be good business. Good business for me for the price that you pay. Dave says, just get Raphinha out. Whilst also having a picture of Raphinha as his avatar. I love that, David, but this is the fickle nature of football. I always got Raphinha on his wall. He's like, get him out. No, but I get what you're saying, mate. I was just having a bit of a laugh, but you know, you have to accept that they're going to move on. They move on. We need a striker. You sign Castellanos, it's not going to happen. Leeds United were never in the hunt. Again, it comes down to where the journalist stories. There was never really any tangible stuff. I believe he was offered to Leeds United previously back in January. Leeds turned it down then. He's not someone Leeds United are going to sign. The most credible striker links we've had has been Eddie Nketiah. I told you all, you know, when that unnamed Premier League striker was announced, it was Eddie Nketiah, and people said, no. But it was, you know, it wasn't until he signed a new deal. We were waiting on that. We've then been linked with Cali Mwendo at PSG, Cali for short. He seems to be the one. I see a lot of people happy with that. If you were to bring in Mo Kamara and Cali Mwendo, people would be overjoyed. So let's wait and see. Of course, we'd like a left back as well. Sean Healy with another super chat. Thank you so much for your continued support, my man. He says, sell KP and get Charlie Taylor, Minamino, Tyler Adams, and Ben Foster or Butland in. Charlie Taylor, I'm all about. I think Minamino, mate, is on his way to Monaco. We did say that on the Minamino one as well, that would he favour a move in the Premier League to a club lower down the league or probably go across the continent to Europe? It looks like he's opted for that. It looks like he's opted for Monaco, Champions League football. I understand it. Tyler Adams is someone high up on Leeds United's list. I think as soon as one of either Raf or Calvin goes, the money will be put up front because Leeds United will need to sell in order to bring in. But Ben Foster for me, Butland, both no-brainers. If we can bring in an experienced keeper to sit behind Meslier to give pressure as well, because Meslier wasn't great, but also give him valued experience that he needs. Because if he was to get injured, Christopher Claassen is not the number one for me. And I'd argue, again, we have to put that same thought process into the left-back situation. I'm sick of us being linked with right-backs. We're not going to get another right-back. But then people say, oh, but, you know, they can play left-back. Just get a left-back. You know, don't play a centre-back that plays left-back. Just get a left-back. There's some available. Tagliafico. This is the mad thing, yeah. Tagliafico's apparently available for as little as €4 million. Okay, might not want to come to, you know, Leeds United, but there are options out there, is my point. Charlie Taylor is an option that's out there. There's loads to go on. Kamara looks very good. He does, yeah. Coco said, I prefer Klaassen to Foster. Surely not as a number 2. Surely not. I wouldn't, mate. Not from what I've seen. I think, I don't watch a lot of under-23s, but I know that he's been poor. We would say, what about Wolves? That's one game. That's one game. I'm not sure Klaassen is ready yet to be a Premier League number 1 if Meslier was to get injured, whereas Ben Foster has just played 38 games in the Premier League. I know they went down, but he's a good keeper. Angelo, what do you think is a realistic price for Adams or Kamara? 20 to 30 million. Although I was talking with Josh Hobbs on Twitter earlier, just listen, these guys watch these players religiously, do player profiles, write for papers. Their knowledge is unrivaled compared to mine. And, that's why I sample a lot of content to try and improve my own knowledge, yeah? I'm a passion merchant. I only say what I see, these statos and that, but they give me support and help to improve my knowledge and try give you content. But I was asking him earlier on because he thinks he's too pricey, and I asked, well, what is a realistic price? And he said 20 plus, like in terms of what he believes he'll go for. But he believes Adams, that's still too high. But I'm not too sure. But again, these people watch. But I know Josh and Co big on Kamara, so and maybe they go for a similar price. They go for a similar price, but if you can move Raph on for 60 to 70 million, you bring in more Kamara. I know that'd be more of a Calvin replacement, but I think the thing is with Leeds United, much like a bit like Arsenal, it's one deal at a time, and that's not a bad thing. Let's get a midfielder in, right? Okay, Rafa's moving. We get the midfielder in using that Raf money. We then look to the next position, which I believe will be the attacker. There will be the attacker. I think if we do replace Raphinha, it will be for a player that can play out wide as also central, as a wide cam, perhaps not an out winger, just because we'll play much narrower next season. It's exciting times. Okay, it's not great that we're losing players, but if they're going to go, like Tom Cruise says, show me the money. Show me the money. Get the Pepe price, 70 odd million. Let's do that. Reinvest and improve Leeds United's squad so we can have Premier League status and longevity, because that's what we want. There was all this talk at the end of last season about, I prefer the Championship, etc. That's fine, but you might prefer the away days and all that sort of stuff, and there's people that go home and away, and I'm not, and I understand why they would say it, but ultimately I want to stay in the Premier League. I want to watch good football. I want to watch the best players in the world, etc., etc. We do that by staying in the Premier League, and improving our squad overall. How many times have we looked to the bench and it's been full of kids, etc., We're now building a squad. There's 5 subs next season, etc. And we will have to lose top players and use them in order to bring in money. But, that's how the cookie crumbles, unfortunately, until you, break that European, them European spots. I never know when I might do it next season, me, a couple of wins and we're getting a passport out. Beat Wolves, beat Southampton, get a draw against Chelsea. Yeah, man, let's do it. Listen, it's a late one. It's almost 11:30. Thank you for joining me. Over 400 people at some points, which is amazing. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new here as well. We have had some new subscribers, so those that have subscribed, I'm really grateful for your support. I've done some videos on Tyler Adams today, more Kamara, and reacting to a Radrazani interview on TalkSport as well. So we've had plenty of content out there. So please sample it. Tomorrow night at 8 will be midweek fix with myself, JT, Lewis, and Max. So we'll be discussing all that. So make sure you join us for that as well, which is, it's great to get with them lads, different opinions. We always have a laugh. So join us for that. yeah, and if anything else breaks between now and the midweek fix, best believe that I will put the video out there for you. Okay, I will do that. Just before I go, what are you saying to the new logo? Let me know, because I'm switching up the logo. So this is going to be the new logo. I'm just going to get a new banner on YouTube, etc. But what do we think to the actual logo itself? Is it okay? Let me know in the comments before I go. Gary Watson says best channel on YouTube. Great logo, nice one, fire, nice, yes, love that, thank you so much. If you look closely, yeah, there's like a little Yorkshire rose behind the JUSTJOE, and the stripe symbolises Leeds colours, etc. Yeah. Oh, Jonathan says stick with the old one. Nigel says don't like it. Oh man, you can't please everyone, can you? Not bad, says Wayne. Looks slick, says Shane. That's what I'm saying. It is what it is. You can't please everyone, but that's okay. I just think it'll look a bit cleaner. Make it look a bit cleaner. Yeah, I'm rambling now because I should be in bed. I should be asleep, you know. I should be watching The Mighty Boosh and falling asleep because that's my thing. What I do is I just religiously watch the same comedies over and over to go to sleep. So it was Big Bang Theory. If you ain't on Big Bang, then you know that's brilliant. It's up there. Yorkshire White's Pro Evo badge, Matt. I love that. Yeah, and then Mighty Boosh, Phoenix Nights, yeah, all of it. Anyway, I'm tired, man. I'm rambling now. I'm talking about my sleep process. No one needs to know. Yes, mate. I'm all Greg. The Crack Fox is my favourite character, I think. But my favourite tune is Cheese is a lovely meat. No, what is it? Cheese is a yellow meat. Crunchy, no, a yellow beef, something like that. For those that are watching, will be like, what is this guy going on about? Yeah, Jeremy, 100%. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Listen, Raphinha bid. Yes, cheese is a kind of meat. A tasty yellow beef. That's it. My man knows. Michael knows. Michael knows the score, man. Yes. Yeah, look, keep it locked as always. As I say, it's content. Tomorrow night, midweek fix. Any news breaks during the day, I'll bring it to you. And yeah, join us for the midweek fix. It's always a great chat. And yeah, keep it locked, and I'll see you in a bit now because I am literally just repeating myself over and over. Peace out.